Getting organised in your business does not have to be difficult and it does not have to be time consuming. All you really need is a project management tool or system, such as ClickUp, set up in a way that works for you. Hi, I'm Daire, brain and biz coach for coaches, healers, and all kinds of online business owners. I'm known in my circles as being a bit of an organisation and productivity powerhouse, but I am no unicorn. I've simply created a bunch of simple methods that really work for me, despite being a bit of a mess on the inside. In this video, I'm sharing a quick tutorial to show you how to get ClickUp set up in a way that works for you, no matter the niche, style, or size of your business, and no matter your personality and preferences with regards to working style. Before you even go and create your ClickUp account, let's outline what you actually need. So start by identifying the realms that you need to manage and run your business. These will very much vary, but here are some ideas. So we have HQ and operations. So this is where any behind the scenes systems and storage and any of that stuff will happen in this section. Then maybe we have content or marketing, and depending on what you do in your business, you might have a separate realm for content and one for marketing, but for now we'll put them together. Then maybe a realm for community, so this could be things like list building, your Facebook group, your audience growth, that sort of thing. Products, whether that is like one-on-one packages and containers or digital products, physical products, whatever it might be in your business. Delivery. So by delivery, I mean the work that you would do with clients and how you manage them. So if you are exclusively a product-based business, this might not be relevant for you. But if you offer one-on-one services, then you might have some kind of client tracker or dashboard that you want to house somewhere. If that's the case, then that's where you would pop that. You might have a leads board where you are tracking possible sales leads, and then maybe you'll have a realm for training and development. Now you can see that these are very big picture, top level, vague terms, and that's fine. That's exactly what we want because we're talking specifically about the realms here. So next we need to brainstorm everything that these realms need to hold. So this could be information and resources, it could be project plans, it could be calendars and timelines, it could be checklists, it could be Kanban boards. So let's look at what this might look like using one of these as an example. So let's go with HQ and operations, seeing as that is the first on our list. So what might we need to see inside of that? So it might be where we want to keep our testimonials. It might be where we want to keep our business strategy. It might be where we want to keep our systems and SOPs. It might be where we want to keep our business assets. So things like brand elements, bios, mission statements, that sort of thing. It might be where we want to keep our team information, or if we're hiring, it might be where we keep that stuff. So you see how you can add your categories here, and then maybe let's do another one. So let's look at content or marketing. So maybe here you have one for YouTube, one for Instagram, one for email marketing, one for podcast features. You've got a general contents list here of what would go in these realms, and I would recommend absolutely going through all of your realms and doing this ahead of time before you get into ClickUp. And then what we want to do is just get clear on what we would want each of these areas to look like. For example, maybe I want my testimonials section to be a folder filled with Kanban boards for each product. Maybe my systems and SOPs, I want a folder filled with checklists. Maybe my business assets, I just want one Kanban board. So you see how you can like start thinking about what you want each of these views to look like as well. So with my content and marketing, for example, I might want Kanban boards for each of these because they make it easier to really see a process in action, especially if you're working with a team. But then maybe I also want a calendar that would contain all of this stuff in one place. So you can see how you can get really clear on what you actually want each different tiny little element to look like, how it's going to function best for you. And it'll be worth thinking about all of the different ways of working that you've tried in your business and getting really, really honest about which ones worked for you, which ones didn't, which ones need tweaking, and all of that stuff, because that's really useful insight going forward. Now, if you are all about these vids helping you get more organized in your business, go ahead and hit subscribe now because I have plenty more to come. Okay, so the next step is to sketch out any systems that you already have or are ready to create. So let's come up with an example here. So let's say we're going to go with testimonials because that's the first on the list. Okay, so what would be the step for gathering testimonials? So let's imagine that we have some kind of feedback form or survey built into the delivery of our products. So we have the testimonials coming in already, but what happens when they're here? So maybe we want to proofread, maybe we want to add to testimonials library, maybe we want to make a square graphic, maybe we want to make a story sized graphic, maybe we want to film a story talking about it, maybe we want to add to sales page, and maybe we want to add it to a newsletter. I'm going to add proofread and edits here because sometimes you need to like follow up and get some clarification from the person. So, and also maybe request a headshot, that sort of thing. So I'm going to include them on the same line. So you see how that's like a checklist of all of the steps that would be involved with getting testimonials. Now, not all of the things in your ClickUp are going to have checklists. So for example, your business strategy, that might just be a document that exists that you have in ClickUp. That's fine. Then in your content, for example, so I want to add another thing in here just to bring it to your attention. So a metrics tracker is something that I have in mine as well. So with YouTube, we'll go with that one. You would do a similar sort of thing to come up with your system. So whereas this testimonials might be a checklist, I've already said that YouTube is going to be a Kanban board. So I would think about all of the different phases of my YouTube process. So there would be idea generation, there would be research and outlining. I usually do that together. There would be recording, there would be editing, there would be scheduling, and there would be promoting. So these would go at the top of the columns on my Kanban board like that. And then each video would go in here depending on what phase we're in. And you can just like move them to the different columns as so. And then maybe with something like a metrics tracker, we have a template that's more of a spreadsheet, and that can be done in ClickUp as well. So again, when you're doing this, you can map out the trackers that you'll use, the dashboards, the spreadsheets, the calendars, that like literally everything that you would want to use, you can map out before you head over to ClickUp. So once we're done with all of this legwork, I want you to go ahead and set up your ClickUp account now. You can do that by going to dairepaddy.com/ClickUp. Okay, so when you log on to ClickUp, this is pretty much the sort of thing that you will see. And obviously this is inside of my account, which is already pretty populated, and therefore there's stuff in here. But if you're starting from scratch, you can just go ahead and start building it out now. So you'll see here that the spaces, this is what I've been calling realms when I've been mapping them out. These are the general like big picture topics or themes or like areas of business that need a lot of room for all of the stuff inside. So similarly to the example list that I came up with, we have the HQ board space, we have products, we have clients, we have community, content, launches, leads, and personal mastery. So that's like training and personal development together. And you can see that I've also color coded these slightly. So we have black for behind the scenes. We have blue for like things that would be sold. We have this like orangey color for anything to do with visibility, and then we have red for more personal stuff. And you'll see also that there's a little padlock here, so that means it's locked, so only I can see what's in there. All of these other ones without a padlock are available to see for my VA and any other team members that I bring on later on. So what you want to do first is create your spaces. And this is simply going to be that list of realms that we mapped out together. So you would just click add space, and then you just type in the name of your space here. So I will do one with you just so you can see what it looks like. So we'll call it example space. So we click next. And then you saw that I color coded mine. So you can pick any color that you like, or if you click this little white dot here, then it will just randomly pick a color for you. So let's go with this purpley color now. And then the thing that will automatically happen is it will just give it the first letter of the space name, but you can go through and pick an icon that you like. So maybe we have a dog bone for this one. And then this is where you decide whether it's something that you only want you to see. And if it is, you click private. If it's something that you want everybody inside of the workspace to see, then you can click the workspace and then just click next. Now, this is where we want to start putting some thought into it. So if you are only going to have one kind of thing happening in this space, so if you're only going to have, for example, one kind of checklist, then you can put together your statuses here. Now, let me show you what that might look like. So the standards that I have in mine are to do, and I always make my to-dos this pink color. Then I have calls, which are always this blue color. And then I have assets, which are this orange color. And then the assets, I move to done statuses. So what that means is that if there's a task that you check off, it won't disappear from your board or from your list if it's marked as a done status, as an asset. So anything that's a to-do, if I tick it off and complete it, then it will be closed and moved off the board. If it's something that I would like to be able to refer to later. So for example, if the task is about creating a hypnosis for Cosmic Goddess, my women's circle, then rather than setting it as complete when it's done, I will set it as assets, because then I have that script there still in ClickUp and I can use it again if I ever need to in the future. Now, there are templates that you can play around with and investigate. But this is how I set mine up when I first set up the space. Now, it might be that certain calendars or checklists or boards have different ones, because you can also amend this on a lower level, on a smaller level. But for now, this is like the standard of what I include in everything. So then you see this view here. And you've got a bunch of really cool options in here. So the one that I like to include that isn't just automatically included is the time estimates one. The reason being, it's really, really helpful if one of your intentions is to reduce your working hours. When you're planning, you can get a lot clearer on how long things take. And in addition to that, if you're starting to work with a team, you can also get them to set time estimates for things, which is really helpful if you're paying them hourly. There are additional things that you can have a little look at, and this is going to be very dependent on the way you like to work. Like, you might not need all of these, so just you'll figure this out as you go. It's very easy to update later on as well if you change your mind. So we'll click next. This is now what we would like to have inside of the space. So if you're going to want calendars, you want to toggle on that calendar. If you want to be able to have lists, boards, have those in there. If you want to have a table, have it in there, and so on and so forth. So what that does is it makes it really easy for you to then create any of those views inside of your space. So we have the little icon, we have who has access, we have the statuses, we have the features and the settings for the different views. So we're just going to go ahead and create that space. Okay, so inside of this space that's right to the bottom, and by the way, if you want to move it, just hover there and you can move it up and down, but I'm going to leave it at the bottom for now. And what you will see is this little plus button, and inside of there you can click to create folders, which is going to be relevant for you if you have multiple types of lists that you want to use relating to a specific topic. So for example, let's look at my content board for a second. So you'll see that there are some things where I have a folder. So I have a folder for YouTube, I have a folder for Instagram for my blog, because there will be multiple lists and multiple assets that go into those sections. So I want to keep them organized. But when it comes to my content planner, that's just one single document. So I only need to have one list for there. I don't need a folder. So this is where we're going to take those like brainstorms that we put together and just start creating the things inside of ClickUp. So start by mapping out the structures. And you will see that because we said what we wanted our available views to be, you'll see that you can just toggle across the top here and have all of the views available. And obviously this is going to look different when you actually have tasks and projects mapped out. So you'll see that you have your statuses here. So this is a view that I really like to use specifically for content. So typically it's the only time I'll use the boards. So if we go and just look at my YouTube example, so you can see that I have like the different phases of creating a YouTube video, and I can just drag and drop the videos as I see fit. So going back to our example space, let's look at how to go about creating these things. So new folder is simply tap on it. So we'll call it example folder. Now, let's say you work with clients in a certain way and you want to create a folder per client, what you can do is create a template for that folder. And then all you will be doing is going to the templates and searching for your template and setting it up that way. For the purposes of showing you, I'm just going to create a basic folder. Okay, so there we have example folder. And you can see how then you can have lists inside the folder, or you can have lists that are just inside the space. What you can also do is tap on the little dot there and create different color coding systems. So you could call it launch, that's an example. You could call it prep, you could like whatever you want to call it, and you can just change the colors by clicking there really easily. So when we go to create a list, let's look at what that can look like. So you want to go and name the list here. So example list. Very original naming here. This is where you would simply populate everything based on those systems that you've outlined. So if you remember how I got you to outline the systems that you have for things, this is where you would just list out those tasks. And you can do that in a list format. So it would look something like this. You could have it in a board, you could have it in a table. Like, it obviously depends on the kind of project that we're looking at. But when you have a list created, what you can do is, so just click on those three dots, hover over Template Center, and then you can save your list as a template. And then what that does is it makes it so easy when you then want to replicate a task. So you would simply just type in name of template here and then click save. So I'm going to show you how that's helpful. So what I actually also do is inside of my HQ section, I have a place for SOPs and templates. And all of the templates that I have like saved as templates, I also have a copy here just for reference. So let me find an example to show you. So let's look at my Cosmic Goddess template. So you see that I have them set, the hypnosis and tapping script set as assets, and then everything else is an action to do. And so every time I have a new Cosmic Goddess circle, I will just go to my products, click on Cosmic Goddess, and you'll see that they're all here. And then I will just simply click Template Center, browse templates, find my Cosmic Goddess one, click use templates, and then I'll like name the circle. I'm just typing in anything now so you can see. And that is set up and ready for me. And then I can just go through and assign due dates. And if there are any tasks for me or for my VA, I can go and do that so that it gets added to our actions list. So I hope you're starting to see that you can really design this to work in line with exactly what you want, exactly the way you want to be functioning on a day-to-day basis. And it is really flexible, really simple, and really, really handy. And like I said, I am barely scratching the surface, but I just really want to show you how to set it up in a very like simple and intuitive way. I hope you're starting to see the potential of using a project management tool like ClickUp, because before you know it, you'll be set up for easeful growth, which is the absolute dream. For more inspiration on weaving focus, magic, and momentum into your business, please come over and join Slayers in Training, my secret Facebook community for brilliant humans just like you. The link is right there in this description box, so there's no need to wait. Come join us now. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hop into the comments and let me know the first thing that you're excited to organize using ClickUp. I live for this stuff, so tell me. I will see you next time.